Good afternoon, everybody. This is Steve Crow from Graitec. So let's have a look at what new features we have in AutoCAD 2017. Well, first of all, you've got the ability now to they've changed the way you migrate through your custom settings. In the past, if you modified anything in AutoCAD, it was always a bit of a struggle to get the tools that you'd created in 2016, for example, or earlier ones, through into 2017. They've changed the interface. So I'm just going to fire up my 16 here on the screen, and I'm going to put some customization into my 2016. Here we go. So I'm firing up my AutoCAD 2016, just going to any old drawing there. I've done a reset. So this is a fresh, brand new install of 16 on here. I just did a reset on it. And for example, I'm going to tweak the AutoCAD PGP file just to put a different shortcut in. And whether it's the PGP file you're changing, or line types, or your template files. So I'm in the PGP file here. I'm going to scroll down to, and I'm going to put in wherever you're getting a lot of typing to do and you can't find the commands easily, such as zoom factor. I'm going to put a shortcut in for zoom factor in my PGP file here. Look, zoom factor, and I'm going to shortcut in just to ZF. Zoom factor. So there we go. If I close my PGP file and save the changes to the AutoCAD 2016 PGP file, when I type in ZF, hit enter, it doesn't work because it loads that PGP file up when it first runs the program. Anyway, I'm going to reinitialize it now. Reinit my shortcut file, that's the PGP file, and now ZF, there's my new super duper shortcut to change the zoom factor. That's in 2016. Now, if I go and fire up 2017, there we go, 2017, then obviously that won't work in 17 because it only exists in 16 at the moment. So I'm going to show you in a moment, just to prove that it's not there at the moment, in there. Just going to run it. So in 2017 AutoCAD here, I'll go to a different drawing file, and again on the Manage tab, there's the edit aliases. Okay, now this is a quick, easy one to edit, but if I zoom down there, you can see at the moment that zoom factor, a bit further down, that zoom factor is not in there yet. So if I close that, come out of AutoCAD, and then go into the Migrate Custom Settings, so Autodesk 2017, so in there, got all these other bits and pieces in here, look, Migrate Custom Settings, and then Migrate from a previous release. If I click onto this, oh, I've got something running in the background, sorry, I need to close that down first. See if it changes, no. Right, so come into here, all programs, Autodesk 2017, migrate from a previous release, and it pops up with this new dialog box on here. And in here, look, you can tell it what we're going to bring through user profiles. If you edit the menu file there, the CUI, your tool palettes, it'll bring those through, templates and so on. And I'm going to do a clear all and reselect my PGP file, the command aliases in there. Hatch patterns, look, if you need custom line types, you can bring all of those through. And if you need renderings, that kind of thing, in materials as well. So I've done a select on the PGP file and do a green tick on that one, and that will pull them through. And you can view the log to see exactly what it's done as well. It creates a log, and you can tell it where it's copied it to and from. So it's telling you there that it's gone from the 2016 folder. So in the past, I was always concerned, when it does the migrate through, is it actually just linking back to the old AutoCAD? Well, here you can see in the file here, it's telling you where it's copied it to and from, and it's taking the AutoCAD PGP file across. So now, when I fire my 2017 AutoCAD, my tool palettes will come across, my customized menu options, my line types, my hatch patterns, and in this case, the PGP file. So my command that I created, the shortcut, which I'm going to run there, look, the shortcut I created is now available in AutoCAD. So I'll go into the drawing file there, and I just get the command prompt. If I just type in ZF, press enter, and there it is. It's asking me what's the new zoom factor. So there we go. That's being able to migrate through the custom settings nice and easily. So here we go. Right. Another new feature. in 2017 is the ability to convert a PDF file into a drawing file. Okay, so how does that work? Let's start a brand new drawing based on naked ISO. So there's no smoke and mirrors here. Let me just turn some of these settings on down here. I don't know why they don't come on as standard, all these settings. Should turn them on quickly. So as I say, it's a fresh install of AutoCAD this. Turn all your status bar options on because they don't come on as default. And then I can see which of them are actually physically turned on. So they're all displayed now. You can go along and turn them all off. So it's a fresh, clean install here. So yes, converting a PDF file into a drawing file. Insert tab on the ribbon, and there it is, PDF import. So you're importing it as a drawing file, and it'll ask you on the when you click on the button there, look, it's asking you to select the PDF. So if there's already a PDF inserted in your drawing file, you can go and select it and convert it, or you can select part of it and convert it, or in my case I'm going to go and select a file off the hard drive to go and bring in. So I'm going to come out into my folders here. Here we go. And I'm going to go into my Autodesk Learning folder, and then I have created a webinar folder, which I hope people are using their places list on the side there, and there's my shortcut into that folder now using the places list there. So there's the PDF file. Click on it and do an open, and it comes up with this dialog box here where you can change the insertion point, change the scale, use the PDF layers, current layer, that kind of thing, and the import options down here about the line weights as well. Now one thing it comes in by default is with this one unticked here, which is the infer line types from collinear dashes, because don't forget it's converting, okay, it's got to be a vector PDF. You won't just do any old PDF, it's going to be a vector PDF. But for example, dashed lines will come in as all separate little dashes, whereas if you tick this box here, which I'd recommend you do, when you bring it in, comes in on the screen there, and there it is, it's all come in, and those lines will come in as dashed lines there, look. So that is a dashed line type, okay, and it's all come in there. You brought the object in on the screen there, and I can go and edit any of that if there's some text in there. For example, I should have had some text in here as well, to be honest. But yes, the text. Now dimensions, they don't come in as dimensions, they come in as text and arrowheads, because don't forget it's converted to essentially a vector file. So I can go on 31.0. There we go. So it's editable on there. It is, brings in as text. And it does create polylines from the objects, interestingly enough. So they're all polylines on there. So that's bringing those in. So yes, in the settings there, don't forget to do the infer line types. Okay. So that's the PDF import, which is quite useful. Okay. Another tool that's new in 2017 is the ability to share what's called a design view. A design view. It's a bit like a PDF file, really, but it publishes it directly onto the internet as a design view, a bit like a PDF file, in as much as you can go into it and turn layers on off and such like. But it allows you to share your information, not the drawing file, but the information. So here we go. If I wanted to share this drawing here, for example, I should do a save on it. I'll do a save as and pop it into my webinar folder. I'll call it test and save on that. So I've just saved my file there, and on the A360 tab on there I can share the design view. In fact, I'll bring up a better drawing than this one to share. So I go and open another drawing, because there's obviously nothing on my layout tabs here. I'll bring up this one here. I've got some layout tabs down here, look, on this one with some layouts on, so let's have a look. So yes, if I share this, share the design view, click the button, and what it does, it publishes, if you like, a view of this drawing onto the internet. Now you can get it to just to publish and notify, or you can say publish and display in my browser now, which I'll do. So I'm going to publish this to the internet. So I'll click the button, and away it goes, and on the command line there it says the view will open shortly, and it's uploading the file to the internet now. Upload it to the internet. And it's opening up in the A360 viewer here. And it's, as I say, it's a bit like having a PDF file, but it's live up on the web. It's live up on the web. Nearly there. So it's taking the drawing that I had saved on the hard drive, not the one live on the screen. So if you want to show any amendments, you do a save on your drawing first. So it's taking the one off the hard drive and it's uploading it to the internet, and it creates a view on the internet of your file. Nearly there. It's nearly there. Come on, you can do it. Today will be nice. Should have got one already prepared, probably. Prepare the drawing package. It puts the, as it says there, it'll email me once the link is ready up on the internet to view. Come on. It's nearly. Okay. Why is when you test these things, they always work okay, but when you actually come to do it live, pretty sure I'm already signed in. Okay. Now can I remember my password? Sign in. Maybe I wasn't signed in. Hooray, there we go. There we go. Right. So here's the file on the web, and I can go and zoom in on this. Now you can't see, but I'm having to do the mouse roll the other way around to what it is in AutoCAD, which is a bit of a pain, but I'll address that issue in a moment. And on the side there, look, you can see the drawing name. You can see drawing name. An email's just come in to say that my file is ready to view, and it shows the layout tabs down here as well. So I'll click into those, and I can pan around it and go and zoom in on it. And there's the A4 layout, so it's showing those layouts on the web. So 2D model view on there. Down here on the hands on things down here, I can do things like turn it around. Not quite sure I want to do that. It does sort of lock when it gets to the middle point there, which is quite useful. Want to go and measure, go and zoom in. I can hover over an object there, and it tells me the length of the object there. Now it is obviously picking onto like an image file. It says 452.637. If I go and zoom up on that, I just go to that one there and zoom up on that. Let's check that distance again on that. Yeah, 452.637. So it is sort of picking on almost like a raster file there, essentially, which is why. So you can go and measure distances and such like. What's that in there? What else in there? Layers. How about the layers? So if I go and turn the dimensions off on there, look, turn the hidden detail off, turn the outline off, so you can turn the layers on and off. You can print from there as well. Top right hand corner there, look, you can print. That's your layers. And then the settings. Yes, I just mentioned there about the mouse is working the opposite way around. You know, it does in some applications. Well, if I go to navigation settings there, you might want to reverse the mouse zoom direction so that it works just like it does in AutoCAD then. So that's a tick box in there. Look. So yeah, so you can publish that with people. You can do a live review on it as well. So if I say Steve, start the review, and it's a bit like a chat, so you can chat over a drawing if you like. But I don't know. I mean, I'm sure there's other ways of chatting over a drawing than going through this. But yeah, so you can chat on it. And also, where's the get link? You can do a get link as well. Full screen. So if I look in my emails, oh, there's the get link. If I do the get link, there's the link to this file on the internet, and it'll be on the internet for 30 days unless I bin it. And across on the right hand side there, look, I can bin this view of the drawing. So I can put it up there, send people an email with this link so they can go and view it, turn these on and off, print the thing, and then I can either bin it straight away or it'll be up on the web for 30 days on there. So if I just close that, and if I look in my emails, there we go. There's a link there which you can obviously send this link to other people, copy and paste it into an email message, so you can pass it on to show the people that drawing file, they call it the design view. Okay. So that's the design view ability to upload and share your drawings up on the web. Okay. Right. So I just close that. Just close that. Oh, where are we? Back into AutoCAD. There we go. There we go. Right. So yeah. So in AutoCAD 2017 here, another tool, new tool in here, is the ability to automatically draw center lines. So annotate tab on the ribbon. There's a new panel called centrelines there, look. And it allows you to automatically drop a center line in midway between two existing lines that you pick. So for example, if I go and pick on the tool here, and just check what layer I'm on layer 0 at the moment. So if I go to the annotate tab and pick onto center line and pick on this line here and this line here, it'll pop a center line in through the middle of there, look, automatically. And if I do the same again, center line on here to here, it puts the center line through there as well, automatically. Now it does come in on the current layer, which is a bit of a pain really, layer 0, or is it? I don't know. Anyway, I was having a fiddle around. I was thinking, well, really I could be going on a layer that's called center lines. I could do the layer called center lines. So what I thought, well, why not just put in the tool palettes? I'm hoping everybody's using tool palettes, who's using AutoCAD. Tool palettes have been around in AutoCAD for, donkeys. Came AutoCAD 2002, so 15 years these tool palettes have been about. And if I just create myself a new palette in here, new palette, call it Steve's TP, there we go. And I want to put the centerline command on there, but just tweak it a little bit to automatically put them on the layer center. So if I just type in CUI, get the Customize User Interface dialog box up, and I'm going to do a search for center. Oops, can't spell. Or it's the Americans that can't spell. Center lines. I can center lines, there it is, and pop that in the palettes. So I've got the center line tool on the palettes there now, look. So there we go. So it works just the same as it does from the ribbon at the moment. So if I go up here and pick on these two lines, click, click, okay, it pops it in there. But as I say, what if I want to make it go onto a particular layer? So I'm going to right click on this, properties, and there's the actual macro that does the work in there, look, in the middle there. I'm just going to tweak this a little bit, tweak it in here, look, and let's get it to put in on a layer. So go automatically onto a layer. So I'm going to type in minus layer, semicolon, what would be make a new layer called center lines, CENT, center lines, semicolon. I'll make it yellow. Oops, I need to change colour. Center lines. Okay. Semicolon. Colour. Semicolon. yellow, and 3 semicolons. Do an OK on that and see if it works. Now look, if you look in here, there's no layer called centrelines, so let's see if it works. It might not work first time, but let's have a go. I'll pan down to this one here. If I say centerline on that one and that one, and there's my yellow centerline, and there's my centerlines layer just automatically created. So brilliant, these two tool palettes. Okay, yeah, so there's also a tool on the annotate tab there to put in a center mark as well, a center mark on here. So if I want to put some center marks in here, for example, on these circles, so center mark on these circles here, if I can get it, there we go, pop those center marks in, just clicking those center marks there. Now these are actually circles inside a block, so it's drilling down inside the block. If I go near this, look, it's a block. It's a block there, so it's found those now. I can go and do the other ones. Now, this is the clever bit with these center lines. If I move all these symbols up slightly, oops, here we go, just pull the parts out of the way. If I pick onto one, right click, select similar, nothing new there, and then say move these, move from the end point to the intersection. Notice how all those center lines move with it. So watch, if I draw 2 lines, and there's one line, turn a polar on, there's another line, and if I use my center tool, annotate center line between this, and I move this one, notice how the center line stays in the middle. If I draw a line like that and say put a center line between those. Oops, I'll do it as a polyline, then I won't move apart. The home tab, polyline, there to there, and then annotate center line between this one and this one. Puts a center line in there. But again, it's a special center line really, because if I move that, look, it always stays in the middle, which is quite neat the way it does that. Okay, so yes, that's your center lines. Okay, so if you stretch it around, move it around, it always recenters all the time. And the same with these center marks on here as well. And I could put the center mark tool on here to automatically come on the layer center lines as well if need be. Okay. Another issue is this, it's sort of a niggling issue, and a new feature here. It was always a niggle in the older versions of AutoCAD. I'll just bring my LT skill up to 4, something like that. When you try to erase something, you know, because when you're working at speed and you go to erase something, go to the erase command, and you try and click on an object, and there's a gap in it, you know, with hidden line types or center lines, and you click and you miss it, and you got to start doing drawing windows to select it because you've picked on the gap. It's a pain, isn't it? Well, now there's a command called LT gap selection. LT gap selection. There it is on the autocomplete. LT gap selection. Click on that one, and it's had an auto one. I don't know for the life of me why I'd have it turned off, to be honest. Now you've got that command there. I set it onto 1. So now if I go to erase an object, and even if I'm on the gap there, look, it still finds it. You see, it's finding it there. Look, click, enter key, and it's gone. Just a little one there, but you know how annoying it is when you go to select something and you've gone between the gaps, to redo a window or whatever, and start again. So yes, LT gap selection, quite a neat tool there. Another one. Nowadays you get people using all sorts of different packages, going into Microsoft, you know, Office packages and back into AutoCAD, and the different types of cursors. There's a variable now. You can change the cursor from the traditional window, the traditional AutoCAD crosshairs, which historically used to be 100% across the screen, didn't it? And some folks keep changing it back to that, which is fine. Or I've got personally used to the smaller crosshairs nowadays. But if you're coming from a Microsoft background, you might want to have the arrow on the screen. And there's a variable called cursor type. Cursor type. There it is, cursor type. And again, it's either 0 or 1. If I say 1, then it stays as an arrow. It is a bit weird for hardened AutoCAD users not to see the crosshairs. So here we go. You think you're in paper space when you're in a viewport, but on the paper space. So here we go. Draw a line, and to see lines coming away from a cursor like that's just all a bit weird for me. I've been using AutoCAD now. I've been with the company now 27 years, and always had a full crosshair or the smaller one. Yeah, 27 years. It takes a bit of knocking out of me to use the Windows pointer. But yeah, it's there if everybody's happy with that. It does seem a bit more accurate because you're actually pointing the object where you're going to in some strange way. But yeah, so that's a variable called cursor type. Okay, so yeah. Right, I don't want to type in that big long word again, cursor type. I don't know if everybody's found, but if you just do an up and down arrow on the keyboard, up and down arrows on the keyboard, look at it flashing past on my command line with the previously typed in or the previously run commands. There's the LT gap selection, look, a bit further down, there's my cursor type. I don't want to type all that again, just up and down arrows on the keyboard, press the enter key, set my cursor back. Oh, that's better, back in my comfort zone. There you go, the crosshairs on the screen. But it's personal preference, isn't it? Personal preference. Another little one on the screen when you go over some objects and it pops up with this thing on the screen, and it blocks out some of your menu with these tooltips that pop up. These tooltips. Okay. Well, I've now put in a variable so you can increase or decrease the time it takes for that to pop up on the screen. If you go over the array command there, for example, pops up with a tooltip. And then in this particular case, a little animated movie comes up to show what the rectangular array command does. Well, in the options now, if I do a right click on there and go to the options, and on the display tab, it comes up with the number of seconds before it displays, both for the tooltip and the extended tooltips, like little videos and things. And if I make that, I don't know, 6 seconds, and make that 3 seconds, so it pops up with that one, and do an OK on that. So now I can go over the command, hover there for a while and get in the command and come off of it without it popping up on the screen, which can be a bit annoying at times. So if I leave it still there for 3 seconds, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so it's 6 seconds after then, obviously, and it comes up with that. But yes, so it's not popping up all the time. By the same token, if I go to options for new users, if you're hovering there for quite a while, if I put in as 0.001, so it virtually comes up instantly, and set this, the lowest I can go with that is 1. Okay on that. So now you go over them, look, it pops up straight away. What's that one? What's that command there? What's that command? What's that command? It pops up straight away for new users. You're not waiting for it to pop up, which I know, although it only takes a second or so, it can seem like a long time. So if you go over it straight away there, yeah, that's the rectangle, that's the ellipse, and so on. So yes, it pops up straight away, which and again you can change that. I'd probably, now to know what the commands are, I'd probably knock that down to back to the 3 seconds, the 3 seconds and the 6 seconds on that one, so that it's not popping up all the time in front of me. Okay, so that's the display timings for your tooltips. Okay, right, what else is new in AutoCAD 2017? Okay, well, in the units, it's probably not applicable to us guys over here, but in your insertion scale, I hope everybody's using this in here. So if I go into the UN, which is shortcut for units, go and check in here. Obviously your drawing's typically decimal, and then down here, this one here, don't leave it on unitless, because then if you're inserting imperial blocks, or even if you're inserting blocks in meters or centimeters, it won't come in correctly. So you need to have this set. If your drawing's in millimeters, you need to tell it in there, if you're inserting objects, that they need to be scaled up or down accordingly to what your drawing is. So it does rely on the block being set correctly as well. But if that's set to millimeters, then when you go onto the internet and find a block that's done in feet and inches or meters or whatever, when it comes into here, it'll scale it correctly. They've added a new one in there, but as I say, it's probably not relevant to us guys. US survey feet. Although I suppose if you're finding symbols on the web and they are set to US survey feet, it knows what they are then. So when you drop them into your drawing, which is set to millimeters, then they'll work correctly. So yes, it's got to be correct in your drawing and also in the drawing you're inserting, or the symbol you're inserting into yours in there as well. Just while we're in there, there's your option to turn it so your rotation goes the opposite way, so like a surveyor, and also setting your direction north 0 degrees for surveying units, and by the default in AutoCAD is 3 o'clock is crossed to 0 degrees at 3 o'clock by default. Okay, oops, cancelling that. So there we go. They've improved what they call the adaptive degradation. So if you're working with any rendered images in AutoCAD or realistic views in AutoCAD, let me show up another drawing here. Open another drawing here. This one here, for example. And I have tested on my same machine with AutoCAD 2016 and AutoCAD 2017, and it certainly does seem smoother. They've adjusted the adaptive degradation in here. So if I just switch this over to a 3D view, go to an isometric view here, for example. This was done with AutoCAD Architecture quite a while ago. And if I switch this to realistic mode, so it turns the materials and everything on, turn the materials on this, there we go. And if I now orbit this around, you'll find it moves around a lot smoother. And what it used to do in the past was it would turn the materials off, so it's turning around almost if it didn't have the materials on. If I just switch it to a perspective view in here, perspective view, there we go. And now, as I say, when it orbits around, now I have tested on this machine, it's just so much smoother now when you're orbiting around in the 3D view on components. And in the notes it says anything with a lot of facets on it obviously will be a lot more useful. There we go. Okay, so that's the adaptive degradation for the 3D orbiting rendered objects. Just makes it smoother graphics, none of this jerky business anymore. Right, just switch back to a 2D wireframe and go back to a top view on there. There we go. One other thing on here is the ability to print directly through the 3D printer. Now, it's nothing. I don't think it's not. In the past, you just didn't. You could do it before, but I need to change to the 3D modeling workspace. And what they've done essentially now on the output tab, there, look, you can send directly out to a 3D print service. And as I say, it's not to say you couldn't do it before, but there's a button there now. Just do a continue on that one. I was looking for an object now. I think that's a 3D object. And it just comes with a 3D print. It creates an STL file from your objects. Okay, and you can spin it over and have a look at the 3D objects in there. Look, so that's it creates an STL file. It's not the fact you can create an STL file is not new. It's just the fact they've given you a button directly to it there. And OK on that, and there you go. It creates the STL file on there and save on that, which you can go and download to your printer. Okay, and there we go. There we go. So they are the new features in AutoCAD 2017. Now, if you wanted to any more information on 17 or want to look at an update course, if you've already got 17 installed, update courses, refresher courses, come from earlier, obviously there's coming from earlier versions, there's loads of new features in 15 and 16 as well. Have a word with our offices about update courses, refresher courses, that kind of thing. We can tailor courses, we can come to your offices and do the courses in your office, or you can come to one of our scheduled training courses. We're often running update courses and such like. I was doing one the other day and it went down really well. So it's not just new features, but loads of shortcuts, hints and tips and so on. Those tool palettes, you need to be using tool palettes if you're using AutoCAD. It just helps to organize stuff and make your lives easier when you're working. Jolly good. Okay, so yes, if you need information, just contact one of our offices and I'm sure they'll be able to help you. Okay, well, thanks very much for attending it today, everybody. and all the best, and I'll speak to you later on. Thank you. Bye now.